Do you guys remember the One World Order conspiracy? It alleged that there was a cabal of people that were working to undermine the rest of the world and bring together a one world government that will rule all the people. And conservatives were up in arms about this conspiracy. But now you have Donald Trump thinking that he is the king of the world. He won the United States election, but now he is acting like he owns the world, like he has carte blanche to do whatever he wants around the world. Here he is saying that, well, we need Greenland for national security reasons.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen.
So, because Donald Trump thinks that the United States needs Greenland for national security purposes, that Greenland should just give it up. This is the fascistic and authoritarian behavior that we are constantly talking about. This is the wannabe strongman stuff. I don't know what Donald Trump's infatuation is with Greenland. Probably has something to do with all of their minerals and natural resources. But this type of behavior is unacceptable. Greenland is an autonomous territory run under Denmark. Denmark owns Greenland, and they are not interested in selling to the United States. And the people of Greenland are not interested in selling their country to the United States. Donald Trump goes on to say that no, he will not commit to not using the military to take Greenland.
But can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you, you're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something.
So he's not willing to commit to using or not using military force to just take Greenland if he wants it. This is just unacceptable behavior from the incoming president. He's talked about making Canada the 51st state. He's talked about invading Mexico and taking out their drug cartels and maybe even making them a state. Now he's talking about Greenland and using the military against another one of our allies. Let's not forget, guys, like I said, Denmark owns Greenland, and Denmark is a NATO partner. They are our military ally, and we have bases on Greenland. What the hell is Donald Trump talking about? This is just bonkers stuff. We are literally living in the upside down. And then you have people over at Fox News just simply normalizing this insanity.
Trump Jr. is expected to visit Greenland tomorrow. The trip comes as his father, President-elect Trump, signals an interest in U.S. ownership and control of the self-governing island owned by Denmark. The incoming president writing on Truth Social just moments ago that if Greenland were to become part of the U.S., his administration will, quote, protect it and cherish it from a very vicious outside world. Sources familiar with Donald Trump Jr.'s plans tell Fox News Digital the president's son is traveling in a personal capacity and is set to visit cultural sites and shoot content for podcasting.
So no big deal, guys. Donald Trump is talking about ownership and control of Greenland, and that's just like normal political discourse. This is the wannabe strongman stuff that Trump is known for. He wants to bully not only our adversaries or even cuddle up to places like Russia, but he also wants to bully our allies. Look at the way that he has treated Canada and Mexico and now Greenland. He is a destabilizing force in this world. And the United States is supposed to be the shining city on the hill, or whatever the saying is. This is not okay. This is not appropriate coming from the incoming United States president. How did we get here? And is this just one big troll from Donald Trump? Or is it some kind of loyalty test to see who in the MAGA movement will jump behind some of his craziest ideas? I tend to think that it's a little bit more than that, because now with Don Jr. traveling over to Greenland with Charlie Kirk, they're basically engaging in a propaganda tour. Here's Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk saying that Greenland loves America.
Pretty epic day, right, Charlie?
Oh, it's unbelievable. By the way, they love America here.
They love America. They love Trump. They want to utilize their resources. Danish fake news has been doing a lot of anti-American sentiment, so that shouldn't surprise us, but let's go have some fun.
So this is just all nonsense. This is not real. The people over in Greenland are not MAGA. They don't love America and want to be acquired by America. This is a propaganda strategy to win over the hearts and minds of the American people. And we shouldn't view it as anything but that. They then go into this restaurant over in Denmark, and just listen to how cringy this is. We have Donald Trump on the phone talking up how he wants to take over Greenland and will be so good to the people there. But listen, let's just take a look.
It needs security for itself, but it also needs security very much for the world. The location really, you see the people and the ships sailing around, and they're not the right ships, and they're not the ships you want to know about. So we need security, and our country needs it, and the whole world needs it.
Yes.
You're so strategically located.
Yeah.
So it's really imperative.
You are right.
You guys like that, right?
You guys like that, right? Clap, 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 clap. This is some bonkers stuff. This is a propaganda tour. Charlie Kirk and Don Jr. are trying to soften people's thoughts on whether or not it might be a good idea to either invade and take over Greenland or somehow purchase it and take control. This is what strongmen do. This is how they act. This is how they use propaganda. This is how they see who is loyal to the MAGA movement, who is going to stand behind Donald Trump in his greatest insanity. We are living in the upside down. This should all be disqualifying coming from somebody who wants to be the next president of the United States. This is just insane. I have no other words for the insanity of all this. Then they gather people around to take a picture with the American flag to further their propaganda campaign. How did we get here? How is it possible that conservatives were so up in arms about something like the one world order or the one world government conspiracy, and now you have Donald Trump going around and trolling our allies all over the world, using rhetoric that you would expect to hear from somebody like Russia. Oh, we want Ukraine, so we will take Ukraine. And that's what they are trying to do now. It's the same thing here. Donald Trump has an infatuation with Greenland, wants access to their resources. Maybe this is in some way going to make him wealthy. And so we can just take it. Donald Trump seemingly has no bounds. He is acting like the world is his stage, and that whatever he wants to do, he can do. If he wants to take Greenland, well, then I will just take Greenland. And of course, I'm not going to commit to not using military force to do so. Absolutely insane. And I just wanted to show you this because I thought that this was quite fascinating. You know, you've got the propaganda tour in full force now, where you've got Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk saying that Greenlanders, they love America, they're MAGA, when that couldn't be further from the truth. Check this out. Western Europeans want Kamala Harris to win the United States presidential election. And you will notice here that Denmark, who owns Greenland, is the least in favor of Donald Trump, coming in at only 7% support for Donald Trump. I thought that that was quite hilarious. Obviously, Greenland is an autonomous zone that is owned by Denmark, but I can't imagine that those numbers skew too far from how Denmark feels. I'm just making a guess there, but I thought that that was absolutely hilarious. But we need to call this stuff out, guys. This is wannabe strongman stuff. Donald Trump should not be allowed to get away with this type of behavior. We should not find it acceptable for him to threaten our allies. He is destabilizing all around the world. We have taken, it has taken decades in diplomatic relationships and negotiations and treaties to build the world the way that it works now. And Donald Trump seemingly wants to tear it all down because it'll make him look like some tough guy. And that should be disqualifying for anybody who is going to be the president of the United States. So I will leave it there for now. If you guys got anything out of this video, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share it with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. If you want to see how Donald Trump just spread so much misinformation and disinformation because he is an incompetent buffoon, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.